Good morning, welcome back. It seems like we have just voted in the midterms, but next fall will be here before we know it.
A number of races are taking shape, including the presidential race. Here with his thoughts, Republican Congressman Sean Duffy. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Oh, of course. Always having fun with Sean Duffy. Good morning.
So we got a lot to talk about, including the presidential race. You've mentioned your support for Senator Marco Rubio in the past. Why is he your candidate?
Listen, I look at a guy who can articulate a message of hope and opportunity for the country. He taps into what people feel about the American dream. I think he inspires people, and I think that's the kind of leader we need today. This, whether you're talking about the economy, addressing all the problems overseas, I think Marco Rubio does a great job of talking about what's best in this country, and so I'm supporting him.
Sure. Now, if he doesn't win the candidacy, will you support any GOP candidate?
Yeah, I will, absolutely. But you know, I think this thing is far from over. I know you did just coming into our segment, you talked about Donald Trump. He's at the top of the polls, and he's talking about things that resonate with a lot of people. But you know, who knows how people are going to vote when they go to that caucus or that first primary, and what they're going to be looking for.
So as far as your own race, you're up for re-election. You had an opponent earlier this year. That opponent dropped out. You're now technically unopposed. Have you given any thought to your own campaign yet?
So listen, I think, I'm always looking at, you know, campaigns.
It just seems like, once we're done, it's time to get started again.
This is a unique time for me where I don't have a challenger. Usually at this time, the race is already starting. It seems like every year they start earlier and earlier. I'm sure I'll have a challenger at one point. This won't last for very long, so we're always ready to go. But listen, I think it's important to you're always concerned about campaigns, but you have to take a pause and look at how do I actually help the country advance some really important priorities. I mean, if you look at what's happening with ISIS and terrorism, you know, these are important things that we have to get right to protect our country as a whole. And so I stay focused on that. I look at economic growth and making sure we have wage growth in our community. Those are all the most important things that I focus on, especially today.
Sure, and now the budget is one of the big things that you guys are dealing with. Well, how is that all going?
So the government's funded until the middle of this week. And, you know, Paul Ryan, our new speaker, is negotiating with Nancy Pelosi. And some will go, well, you guys have the majority. Why are the two of them negotiating together? Well, the Republican conference is split. Some want to spend more money on the military. Because of the budget caps, the military spending has come down quite a bit. Others don't want to break those caps. So our Republican conference is split. So Paul Ryan has to go to Nancy Pelosi. They're having dinners and negotiating because we're going to need Democrats to come over and vote on the package that the two of them negotiate. What they do in the Senate, I've been there for 5 years. I can't still figure out how they work in the Senate is. That's yet to be seen.
Sure.
So how is Congressman Ryan doing as Speaker? How has he been holding up? Have you spoken with him?
Yeah, absolutely. He's doing really well. I think our conference, the Republicans in the House, they trust him. He's a conservative. He's concerned about spending. He's concerned about a strong military. So the budget deal he's working on right now, that's going to test him. But this is remnants of Speaker Boehner. And so Paul has to still deal with what was set up for him before he got in. But I think he's doing a great job. The biggest thing is really complicated things happen in government. And Speaker Boehner didn't really go out and talk to the media. And that's a problem. Paul Ryan is on the Sunday morning talk shows. He's all over communicating about what we're doing and why it's important. And if we're going to be effective, you got to talk to people, explain what we're up to. And you know, for us, one of the biggest concerns is because there's a lot of people who are frustrated with Washington, and I get it. Yeah. But what's important is we pass all these bills in the House, and they go to the Senate, and because of the Senate rules, you need 60 votes to pass any bill. There's 54 Republicans, so any Republican bill that passes in the House needs 6 Democrats in the Senate. Things get shut down, and a lot of people get angry at the House when really it's over in the Senate where the problems are. And to communicate that message, I think, is important for Paul.
All right, Congressman Sean Duffy, thank you for joining us.
Okay, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, and best of luck to you and your colleagues on both sides of the aisle as you work together to get a deal.
Hopefully you'll get home for Christmas.
We may need that, Sean. Yeah, hopefully I'm back here for Christmas. Maybe it'll be white, too, and not red.
Well, we'll see. We'll check in with Chad for a look at the forecast. Chad, what do you have?